Alright, so we're going to take a look at this podcast cringe video titled Steve-O is in damage control after ruining his career. Now, I was a early person saying that Steve-O was he could just go away, right? Even seeing him in Jackass 5 or whatever it was like, was it even worth it? He kind of just stood around. Like, hey, just put my face in it, it'll sell, who cares? The fans are idiots. But yeah, being a podcaster, being on a podcast, hard to listen to, and I'm sick of hearing the same 7 stories. But he's apparently ruined his career. Let's hear.
Man, I was just kind of printing money, like selling merch like crazy, and like everything was just going so well. A point after that where I felt like, man, the internet turned on me. When I see a negative comment about me, if I agree with it, then it really bothers me, and I got to do something about it,
The problem with the internet is it's overwhelming. It's too many voices,
right?
Too many different people. That's
right.
why.
Too many voices and too many people being right all of the time. And it stinks. It hurts. Okay? When random strangers just point that thing out that's just like, God damn it, he got me. 100%. But of course you got Papa Joe here probably eventually going to say, hey, don't look at it, man. You got to stay away from it. But that's exactly why Rogan is in the position that he's in, because he doesn't fucking listen. He doesn't look at his audience at all. And there's a lot of people that are in this Rogan sphere that are that way, where they don't listen to the audience. They change nothing, and they continue to be who they are, I guess, to a degree, or whoever they've pretended to be. And everyone grows to eventually hate you. That's where we are. So everybody thank Podcast Cringe for sitting through this episode and finding this nonsense, because no fucking way was I doing it.
That's why I would never recommend for a person like you to even read the comments.
Right. What I did was...
Do you have a dick tattooed on your right eyebrow? Is that what that is?
That's exactly.
How long do you have to keep that for?
I don't have to keep it for any amount of time, but...
It's not a bet or anything?
I mean, it is a bet how long I last before I get it lasered off.
Oh.
But I've been doing really well with it. And
it's not even a good dick. It's like a weird dick, like a banana dick.
Okay, well, we didn't need that. But again, I think Joe could just sum that up as, I don't know, you're desperate, dude. Still so desperate. I mean, Steve-O has talked about getting fake tits for as long as I can remember, since he started his YouTube channel, started his podcast. Hey, I'm gonna get fake tits, bro. This is your idol, this is your guy, this is the guy that made us all do those fucking dumbass stunts with our friends, whether you were drinking or not. Okay? Sometimes it's okay to just let him go away. And to me, when I first started really disliking Steve-O was an episode of The Adam Friedland Show. He was on there doing, whatever the fuck he does on a podcast, and it was just so irritating. Like, man, maybe just listen a little more instead of talking.
It was done by Post Malone.
Oh, well, that makes it even better.
But I was very shocked when I got it that my life didn't really change a whole lot.
Yeah, it's you.
Steve-O went on JRE this week. He's basically in full damage control at this point. Here we have yet another Rogan-adjacent character who's in the process of Brendan Schaubing themselves. And I think that exchange I just played for you about the dick tattoo on his forehead pretty much tells you everything you need to know about where Steve-O's career is at right now.
Yeah, so like I said, it's basically that, He went on this crazy run for a second, being a guest on all the big podcasts, and people just got sick of it, dude. And this was a while ago. And at this point, it's like, I have not subscribed to his channel. I don't watch anything that he does. It doesn't matter who he has as a guest, because whether it's him being annoying, his weird-ass, second mic and producer bother me. I'm not into that, so not worth watching, whatsoever.
This is a 50-year-old man who got Post Malone to tattoo a banana-shaped penis on his face, genuinely expecting it to change his life, and then he was shocked.
Oh, and don't forget, there's I don't know, 75 ads.
when his life carried on exactly as it was before. But for those of you who don't know, Steve-O recently won the Mr. Beast Celebrity Challenge in January, and by his own admission, after his career peaked in 2022, he was surprised at just how much nobody gave a flying fuck that he won a challenge with over 100 million views. He seriously thought it was going to give his career a third leg.
All right, now that's that is much funnier than what I thought. Holy shit. I mean, I was not thinking or had any idea that this happened. How did this happen? I mean, something in me says that Steve-O was definitely willing to do a Mr. Beast video, be in any kind of challenge that he could be, because, you know, he's doing the YouTube thing. That's sort of where his career has ended up. He tried to put his goddamn stand-up special behind a paywall. Nobody gave a fuck about that. The ones that he's done already, it was just like him doing, you know, circus acts on stage. It was more of a one-man show, not really stand-up comedy at all. And then he tried to pretend to be a stand-up comedian. People also were like, "No, you're not that guy. That's not who you are." If anything, I think Chris Pontius was probably funnier than Steve-O. When I think of all the movies and episodes of Jackass I've seen, Chris Pontius was the guy with the one-liners after the stunt. Maybe even Ryan Dunn. Not Steve-O. And here he is pretending to be the funny guy just because he went to clown school. Look at Mr. Beast's dead fucking eyes, bro. That is the devil.
Pause, but then started complaining to Rogan about how nothing's really changed. In fact, things have actually gotten worse for him since then. Just last month, he had Harland Williams on his Wild Ride podcast, and in his never-ending quest to be an edgy 50-year-old, he tried to give a hot take on the ICE killings, which...
Hey, I love Harlan, one of my favorite comedians, and didn't watch this. So much I don't like Steve-O.
Totally backfired. I mean, even Harlan was like, "What the fuck, dude? What are you talking about?" So making an appearance on JRE and Kill Tony as well, by the way, completely makes sense. There's a very specific type of guest that ends up on JRE these days. It's the place to go to when your reputation needs rehabilitation, or you need Rogan's public approval to sleep at night. Joe Rogan's podcast has quietly become the most expensive therapy couch in podcasting. And Steve-O's episode...
I mean, the way he's spitting this, it makes me think that a lot of these guests that come on Rogan, no matter what situation they're in, they probably text him about the comments. And he tells them. I mean, Joe's getting he's getting text messages all through the night from his fellow comedians and just friends, podcasters. "Hey man, did you read your comments today?" "No, I don't read the comments." "Stop reading the fucking comments." Constantly.
Episode is a perfect example of that. So stick around, because I'm going to take you through exactly what happened with all the cringiest moments. And honestly, this episode had way too many to choose from.
All right, like I said, Steve-O, king of the cringe. So let's just, I can't even imagine sitting through this. Like, seriously, like, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to get something out of this.
But make sure you check out the link to my Patreon in the description below. I just dropped a 48-minute documentary on Shane Gillis called The Shane Gillis Curse. And just a few days ago, I also dropped a video covering the Kill Tony Stalker. So
Yeah, I said that. I did a video on that as well. Because what the fuck, man?
if you want to see my uncensored long-form commentary, head over to Patreon and check out my catalog of over 50 videos covering all the stuff I can't put on YouTube.
Absolutely. Go subscribe. Podcast Cringe. Support.
As for Steve-O, for some reason, he thinks his career peaked in 2022, not 2002.
Man, dude, I was on high the year of 2022. Like, we had our Jackass movie in theaters, #1. The big, like, you know, my profile was all, you know, like the...
Hey, but let's remember, they had to use your face to sell the movie. It's the only reason anybody cared. And then we all watched that movie, and we were bummed out because ye aren't doing shit.
World just opened up from the pandemic. Everybody had stimulus money, and they were just revenge spending. Everyone wanted to go out to shows, and there were no interest rates. Money was free. It was just like a perfect storm for me to have the most successful year of my life. I was just kind of printing money, like selling merch like crazy, and like everything was just going so well. I don't know if maybe like you become more successful and like.
I think these guys are starting to realize, much like we've been saying, there is such thing as overexposure, dude. And it's weird that these older guys don't get that, because they come from an era of radio play. And that's my connection. Okay, I remember hearing songs that were #1 hits and hating it because I heard it too many fucking times, dude. You start resenting it. You're like, yeah, I'm good on fucking the Dixie Chicks, bro. They're constantly on the fucking rate, you know, whoever it was, right? It was just constantly, there was always somebody who was overly played, and you're like, okay, dude, I'm good on that fucking song. At the very least, that song. Whether it was the artist or not, it was that song. Get the fuck out of here. Sometimes you wouldn't come back to the artist as a whole. But that's what's happening now. With comedians, with influencers, with streamers, with the internet. We ourselves are sort of overexposing ourselves on purpose, in a way. Because we're watching the stuff. We're watching all the interviews that when Shane Gillis is on this podcast, when, James McCann is over here, when Ari Shaffir is over, whoever the fuck, you're watching them on all these different episodes, all these different areas, and it's certainly overexposure. Not just us watching them, but them putting out that much stuff, forcibly being seen in a way, feeling like it's necessary, and it's exhausting. Like, dude, it would be so cool if you just popped up. Like, if all we saw, because it was nice to watch the Rogan podcast back in the day, because none of these other people had their own podcast. So it's like, oh, if I want to hear from Theo Von, here he is on the Rogan podcast. That's interesting. Let's see how he's doing. What is he talking about? Is it going to be funny? Are the jokes going to land? And now everybody has their own shit, so it's like, why the fuck would we come back here? And also, you're just going to rehash the things you've already said on your own podcast to Joe. I don't know. It's just a strange circle, man. It keeps feeding itself in a way.
Like, people get angry at you, a point after that where I felt like, man, the internet turned on me. People are saying that, all I do is promote merch, like there's a bunch of different
Dude, it's so weird the things he's saying, because these are things that I've commented. I'm like, his whole fucking show is nothing but plugging different things he's selling. He would go on fucking 2-minute long ads going through his house talking about Tushy, bidets, and all. Dude, fuck you, bro. I don't care if you're reading it from the bathroom. Get it the fuck over with. But trying to add production value, make us care more, sit here and watch it, fuck that. I'm skipping it every time.
Stuff. 2024, 2025, like very mindfully addressing the criticism with which I agreed. And I felt like I made like really good progress repairing my reputation, even though maybe I didn't even need to.
Look, to me, it also comes from this knowing Steve-O, knowing more than I needed to about him. Like, if I hadn't went and looked it up, I still would have found out, okay, that he comes from money. He went to clown school because he could throw away his dad's money on some dumb shit like that, knowing for sure there's no future in being a comedian or a clown, right? He still got to do it. His dad threw money at it and fucking, yeah, my son's gonna be a clown. Must have been really proud. This is a man who has been trying to get his dad's attention his entire life. And when I realized that and I put that connection together, knowing how rich his dad is, I'm like, well, fuck this guy. Everything he's doing is just to be like, look, Dad, I'll set myself on fire, dude, if you just talk to me. That's all it is. And when you know that, you stop giving him fucking attention. It's that easy. It's that easy to stop playing that song. Okay? Change the fucking radio station. Shut it off. You know what I mean? Put in a CD of some shit you like. Okay? You can get away from it. And people would rather sit here and continue to watch it so that way we can go and make videos like this and be like, hey, this guy's still fucking, clawing at his 1,200 views. Like, gross, dude. Gross. I'm over it. You know what I mean? Most of these guys. Almost anybody that's willing to suffer through being on Rogan. If it's not a new comedian who needs the exposure like a James McCann, I'm not watching Rogan. I don't know why anybody would. He doesn't make it funny. It's the same, let's sit here for 3 hours and talk about... Dude, because I think about the old days when it was so fun. When they would show clips of fucking animal attacks and fucking weird stats, and they were getting into it, dude. No fear. But now somebody else is pulling the strings. And when that happens, you're compromised. Either way, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Go check out Podcast Cringe. Hit the like and subscribe over there if you haven't already. I'm sure you have. I don't know why you'd be here without being there first. Either way, we'll see you in the next one.